Hey guys, real quick. I just wanted to show you a better view from where the jet fighter crashed at. As he came from this way, as you can tell, because the back of the house, back of the building is still intact, just like the front of the building is still intact. As the fighter plane goes in here, and then it like takes a dump. It just like plops like on the ground instead of moving forward.
Careened into a warehouse about a mile away from where we are, slamming into it at probably a couple hundred miles an hour. For some reason, that pilot bailed, pulling the ejection seat, his parachute.
Oh, there's the proof.
His chair.
Oh, wait a minute. There it is.
Bailed, pulling the ejections.
There's the proof. See, look. I mean, it's there. It's what it is. It's well, there's like some vents there. I think that's like the front end of a like a car or something. And you got your shark's fin there. And so I guess it kind of just landed. I mean, look, that is a miracle, ain't it? It's like, man, thank God it just landed like perfectly. You know, it's like a perfect 10 the way it landed, because it just like stuck to the ground and turned into a pile of hunk of metal.
See, his parachute, the canopy, his chair, most of those landed right near the runway. But for some reason,
Awesome.
That jet veered pretty far off course, slamming into that warehouse. And the video from inside that warehouse is pretty incredible. Workers shocked, coming upon
Dump the water out, guys. Come on, more buckets.
That there is a military jet that just slammed into that warehouse, crushing boxes and those stacks of whatever was in there. But pretty.
All right, you see how close? Look, I already, you know what I mean? It's like, but anyway, I just wanted to show you the things that they try to sell you. There's the entry part right there. See that screen right there? It's like cracked in the background. It's like it's not really green per se, right? But it's interesting where it just plops down.
Pretty impressive that the jet
damn sure is
did not explode. And the concern is
that too.
Whether or not there was ordnance on board. You know, this is an active air base, and sometimes these planes are armed not only with 20 millimeter cannon ammunition, but also Sidewinder missiles that can be armed.
You see the dent? So, that definitely happened because there's a dent in the pavement. So it definitely landed. Well, let's see. Let me take a look at that again. Just want to see something.
An active air base, and sometimes these planes are armed not only with 20 millimeter cannon ammunition, but also
okay, there it goes.
Sidewinder missiles.
All right, so that's the top piece where the eject. Oh my God. Where the top piece ejects from the airplane, and it crashed right there. Like it's amazing how these materials crash land, and they literally just hit where, like there, and it's like doink, and it just like kind of bounces right there with one little skippity jump. But yeah, that's a miracle too in itself. Because what happened was God had his hand on that to just keep it still. That way it wouldn't go trickle over and fly and maybe hit another car or something, you know, like in the streets.
They can be armed and can be explosive. So luckily, the fire in that warehouse burned very quickly. The sprinkler system
12 injured, quickly.
Sprinklers jetting water down on the scene, so much water that it spilled way out.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, debris with it.
I mean, that's awesome that they got that they got proof and somebody just happened to be driving by with well, with their camera. I mean, I guess if you have dash cam, you can see that. But man, that's definitely proof right there, because it shows it. I mean, look, it's there. There's if somebody shows you on the mainstream media the proof of seeing the airplane, then you know it happened.
Out into the parking lot, taking debris with it, and that likely created the conditions that made it impossible for
anybody to believe it
and those missiles to go off. So that's very good news. Now, just want to give you a lay of the land here. That's the airfield. It's a pretty large airbase that continues for about a mile in that direction, but surrounding it are warehouses. There's an industrial zone, and when that plane came down, it came down pretty much at the middle of a workday, around 4 p.m. here. Lots of people were in there, lots of people around, traffic building up on I-215, which is actually just behind me. So there were many witnesses to see what happened, and lots of people were shocked, including
his card is at the bottom there.
Thought that there was some sort of massive
his teleprompter's down here.
And it created tremendous confusion inside as well. Now, one of the things you didn't see that we expected to see, at least initially, were firefighters at the scene. But because there was possible
now they moved it over here
on that plane, it was the EOD guys who showed up, and I think they went into the building. We don't yet know. One of the things that's still surprising, at least to me, the Pentagon has not yet said whether or not there was ammunition or live ordnance on that plane. What they did tell us outside this gate here last night.
Is this going to be a story?
They likely know. Maybe they're waiting for the investigation, which obviously is going to dig into what was on that plane, why the pilot lost control, and why it veered so far off the runway. We'll obviously keep you posted with whatever we hear. Kimberly.
All right, Matt. Had to have been pretty scary to witness that in person. Thank you so much.
Was ordnance
hey,
on board. You know, this is
an
active airbase.
I still have this
these planes are
this
armed,
jet
not
fighter.
Only with 20 millimeter
this jet fighter
but also
that crashed.
Sidewinder missiles that can be armed and
it looks
can
like
be
that.
Explosive. So,
listen, see, 12 injured as fighter jet fighter rips through the roof. Now, luckily, the fire that was there, I think it burned quickly. In the warehouse, it burned quickly.
But pretty impressive that the jet did not explode. And the concern is whether or not there was ordnance on board. You know, this is an active airbase, and sometimes these planes are armed not only with 20 millimeter cannon ammunition, but also Sidewinder missiles that can
Violent act.
armed and can
Listen to
be
what's going to happen
explosive. Luckily, the fire
to the
in
warehouse.
that warehouse burned very quickly. The sprinkler system worked. You saw those sprinklers jetting water down on the scene. So much water. The fire in that warehouse burned very quickly. The fire in that warehouse burned very quickly.
And I saved that pile so we could burn it in the bonfire pit while you're here. So, sounds good, doesn't it? Take care, brother. Well, we got the front yard all raked out. Well, except for this back half, a little bit more there. But there's a pile we took out of the front yard. It's all the dead branches and stuff, too. We're going to take it and burn it over there in the fire pit. In front of the building like this. Yeah. See, this is the reason why. See how the cracking that's going on right here? That's why I got to tear off the front of the building. It's a lot worse than this. This was a couple years ago.
Isn't that your warehouse?
It's gotten way worse than this now. It's even cracking over here now too, and it's cracking the glass too. So I'll have to tear out the whole front of this building. This whole front's got to come off.
How? What are you gonna do? Like, how far are you gonna move it back?
When Rob gets here, we'll
when Rob gets here,
tearing off that front. We're just gonna close it off. We're gonna move it back like 12 feet.
Oh, 12 feet?
More parking space up in front.
Yeah, that's good. 12 feet's probably good to move it back. 12 feet moving back with the warehouse and burning those sticks, quickly. 12 feet back.
Luckily, the fire in that warehouse burned very quickly. The sprinkler system worked. The fire in that warehouse burned very quickly. The sprinkler system worked.
This whole front's got to come off. When Ron gets here, we'll end up tearing off that front. We're just going to close it off. We're going to move it back like 12 feet so that I've got more parking space up in front. So
Private airplanes and companies, it's all crashing down. Things are just starting to drop from the skies.
All day long, at least 20 times a day. You just never think one's going to fall out of the sky. One's going to fall out of the sky.
CAL FIRE Captain Fernando Herrera says it's lucky the plane's highly explosive jet fuel didn't ignite. What was a small fire?
That's pretty remarkable that it fell into a building